Today I'm going to show how to troubleshoot this tablet made by a Chinese company called Readboy. So Readboy in Chinese is 读书郎, and this is the Q5 model. It's a tablet running a modified version of Android called X-Droid that has interface specifically made for children from the age of 3 to high school age. And the problem with this particular tablet when I got it is that the touch screen doesn't work. So you can see, I'm going to just show you this. You can see the tablet doesn't work anywhere if I touch it. Okay, so likely it's a problem with the touch screen here or the firmware. I suspect it's more of a hardware problem. Some people have reported that it could be a firmware problem, but I think the easiest thing to do right now is to just take a look at the hardware. So let's start. First, we have these four corners which are covered by these violet color plastic, and I just have to remove the screws, which I already did earlier. You can find them here. And once I remove them, then let me turn off this. And here I'm just going to lift it up and pull it back. Same thing on this side. Lift it up and pull it back. May require a little bit of assistance. Okay, here. So now that's open, and I can pop the edges, which I already opened earlier. So I'm just showing you the path of the clips in the inside, and also on the side you can just kind of pop it along the edge between the gap. So in the gap here. Okay, so now the cover is removed, and you can see on the label, this is the 读书郎 Kids Learning Pad Model Q5. It uses a 3.7 volt lithium battery. Okay, that apart, let's take a look at the internals. A very standard tablet layout. We have the battery here, which is a pretty big one, 4100 milliamps, and it's soldered onto the motherboard here. And let's just move it a little bit. So you can see it's soldered to the motherboard, and you have various components, speakers here, and you have the main board, the camera. So the first thing to check that is notable is this connector, because this connector looks a little bit at an incline. If you can see from the side, it's not flat like all the other ribbon connectors. See, like this one is completely flat, so is this one, so is this one, where this one is at an angle. So if you take a closer look, you can see that it's actually popped open. So probably somebody dropped it. And let's bring the lighting here. You can see that. You can see it's detached from the bracket on the motherboard. And also on this side too, you can see it that it's also detached. So I think that's the problem. This is why the connector is not getting good contact, and that's why the touch screen doesn't work. So we're gonna have to see if it's possible to actually fix it. And here, let me just flip open this tab. So once I flip open the tab, you can see all the connections to the motherboard exposed. And I'm just gonna pull out this ribbon cable connected to the touch screen. And you can see even better now from this angle that you can see here, this is really detached. And the battery just fell. Okay, let's put it back. So now the question is if we can put this back, and if not, then either I'm going to have to order another motherboard or send it back for repair. But that is a problem, regardless of what's the solution. Now we know for sure it is a physical connection problem to the touch screen that's causing the touch screen not to respond. out of curiosity, I want to see what kind of electronic component they use for this tablet. So you can see here you have the Samsung flash memory on this side, and then you have this AXP223, which is a power regulation chip. So let's flip over on the other side to see what is the main core chipset. So here you can see you have two more flash memory here made by Samsung, and here you have an all-winner tech A33 quad-core chip. And as I suspected earlier, as with many entry and mid-level tablets made in China, they choose to use the local chip source, which is all-winner, and this one is not an exception, which means I can actually install other all-winner compatible X-Droid firmware to replace the stuff that they installed here for kids. So either way, after I repair this, then I'll be able to use as a normal tablet instead of a tablet for kids with the original firmware.